Okay. Okay. I think we're officially recording. So welcome everybody to our first Ask the Experts session for 2026. Good to see everybody here, and I hope everybody had a good end of 2025. Hopefully everybody's ramping up for lots of great programming in 2026. We do have a couple of small updates that we're going to share with you all. And then, as always, we're going to open the floor to hear what you guys have questions about that we can see how we can assist you all. But so we are, just for in case anyone isn't familiar with our e-commerce site, Dr. Crandall can throw the website in the chat for everybody. But I did want to mention and just remind everybody that we have great curriculum reinforcements / prizes on our e-commerce site that you guys can order at any time. You guys can use your Title III funds for those, which is very unique and a nice benefit because Bingo Size requires prizes. You guys are able to use the Title III funds for those. And we are doing a couple of closeouts on some items. So just make sure that you guys go over there, check it out, see what there is. We've got, all kinds of great things. There's things that reinforce the falls message. There are some things that go along with nutrition. There's some other great items that are just kind of more fun, miscellaneous items. I think we're doing a closeout on, I think there's some spatulas. I think there's a dish scrubber, maybe some nail files as well. You guys will see the discounted prices on there. There's like 4 or 5 items, I think, that we decided that we were going to phase out and maybe introduce some new things. And so now would be a great time to capitalize on, we've got some key bands, some wristbands that have like a keychain on them. So it's a great time to capitalize on, some discounted items, especially if you guys wanted to get some of those to throw into your pot of prizes. And then obviously there's always shirts and bingo cards and anything else on there that you might need. So just be sure, if you haven't checked that out, to just pop over there at some point and just kind of see what's on the website. Let's see what else. Also wanted to just remind everybody about renewals for anybody who, a lot of you guys may be very new. And so it could be that you're at the beginning of your 2-year license and you have lots of time to go. And so this won't apply to you for a while, but for anybody who might be getting close to the end of their 2-year renewal cycle for their license and facilitators, just wanted to let you know that you do get a discount on the facilitator recertifications if you get all of that done before your certification or before your organization's license lapses. So there's a benefit to keeping your license current and not letting it lapse and then like starting back over. So just, if you guys are doing Bingo Size, and obviously we hope for you guys to continue. We've got a handful of customers all over the country who are probably, I don't know, on year 5 or 6 maybe doing the program. So we hope that you guys will be some of those too. But definitely make sure that we're keeping licensure current and that we can help you renew before things expire. That way you guys can capitalize on getting a discount on those facilitator recertifications, because obviously we want you guys to be able to take advantage of any kind of benefits like that. So those were 2 of the main things that I had on my list. We do also have another workshop curriculum that's in the works that Dr. Crandall was wanting to kind of share a little bit more about. So I'm going to turn the floor over to him for a minute and let him share about that and any of the details that he wants to maybe get feedback on or to kind of push out. So go for it, Dr. Crandall, and I'll admit anybody that comes in while you're talking.
Great. Well, thank you all for being here this new year. It's good to see everybody. I just wanted to share, and some of you have been here before. You probably heard about this already, but I just like to keep reminding everyone. We are working on a new workshop right now. We've got some experts in diabetes management care who are working with me to design that workshop. Curriculum is pretty much done. It's being vetted right now by an advisory panel that we put together, and will very, very, very soon be pilot testing that workshop. So we are looking for a select group of people who would be interested in helping us do that. So if you are interested, if you will maybe put your contact info in the chat, and I will have a list. It won't need everybody, but I will be selecting a few, and there'll be no, it'll be kind of a random selection. So don't feel bad if you don't get picked, but so that I need that data in order to start establishing that evidence base so that we can start sharing it with everyone sometime probably later this year. I'm hoping maybe in the fall to kind of launch that new workshop. We're really, really excited about that. We know that's a very needed workshop, a needed topic. So just if you're interested, you can put your information here now, or think about it and you would like to do it, just send me an email with your info and we can kind of go from there. I'm going to put my email in the chat.
Dr. Crandall, any like broad overview outside of just saying diabetes management, any kind of broad overview of some of the topics or any like that kind of stuff? That I don't know if that would interest them or be of help as they make that decision.
Yeah, just background. The reason that we did this because we kept hearing from a lot of people that the diabetes management workshop is a very popular workshop. I know a popular program that a lot of people use. And I've just heard people telling me that we need something a little different, same information, but a little bit different presentation, a little bit different delivery, something a little more fun, like bingo size. So the people that actually at the University of Kentucky who deliver that diabetes management care program, they are the ones who are going to be putting it together. So a lot of the same information that's delivered in that diabetes management program will be included in this program. So pretty much the same, nutrition, physical activity, insulin care, all of those kind of things will be included in that workshop. And so that's why we put that advisory panel of experts together, because we wanted it to be evidence-based and have the backing of those experts who do this stuff every day. So that's what it'll be.
So same great information that's provided in some other programs, but with a new twist and hopefully a little bit more of a fun and less intimidating presentation, maybe was kind of the idea behind that.
And exercise will be included as well. So that'll be a big difference. You'll be actually doing exercise and learning, just like the other bingo size workshops.
It looks like there's already a handful of people throwing their info in the chat. So we appreciate that, and we'll make sure and make a note of all of that. And then like Dr. Crandall said, he'll kind of pick a lottery of however many he needs based on how much interest there is, and then we'll be in touch regarding like what that would look like and next steps and all of those types of things. So I think that is the majority of what we wanted to share from our end of things. I have one more question potentially, but I'm going to save it for the end because it's kind of would be more a good way to close things out. But so we're curious always, what kind of questions do you all have? Or if there aren't questions that are pressing right here at the beginning, success stories or anything that you guys might want to share, questions, comments, concerns, anything. It looks like Denise Andreas has her hand up. So go for it, Denise.
Yes, hi everyone. I'm Denise Andres. I'm in the Southwestern Connecticut Agency on Aging in Connecticut, and I'm going to be starting. Very excited to be starting one of my first sessions. But I have a variety of questions. The first pressing one is we have some centers that are interested in doing a Spanish version of. And I know that's available. However, I don't speak Spanish. So would it go against the fidelity of the program if someone else were to interpret? Does that need to be someone who's a trained facilitator?
No, that's fine. That's no problem at all.
As long as you're there facilitating and they're just there kind of mirroring and interpreting, that would be totally appropriate.
Okay, wonderful. That's great news. Thank you. And then the other question I have, if anyone can help me out. So I was practicing and going through the sequence because I'd like to use the physical cards, but still use the web-based thing. I don't know how many people do that or not, but I noticed that when I try to play the videos, the exercise videos, if I don't go like right to YouTube to play them, and I don't know if this might be a system thing with my system, then there's no sound, which would be okay. But if I play them on the, like it says, go to YouTube video, And then, of course, you get the commercials, which I don't think is optimal. So I was just wondering what other people's experience were.
I think you just have to unmute the videos. They're all defaulted to mute because in the instance that people were using tablets, if they weren't muted, everyone's would be going off at the same time. So you should just have to unmute it on the little screen of the video in the web game.
Okay, great. I will definitely try that. I might have missed it.
And it looks different now, by the way, Dr. Crandall. I don't know if you've used the game in 2026, but the YouTube plugin, like YouTube has changed their format. And so the videos actually look different. The place where the mute button and all of that has changed, because I noticed that this week doing a demo, but you do just have to click on, there's like a little, like a little megaphone, like the little volume icon. And if you just click on that, it'll give you the option to turn the volume up.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yep. And a lot of people, Denise, I think, are doing what you're talking about, where they're using the web game to project it, but their players are playing on the card. I think that's probably maybe even the majority. It's certainly a very popular option. So super, works super well, lots of fun, very, a lot of experience as far as others having done it in the past, and hope that you'll have a great experience with that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I practiced with some of my colleagues at work, and I asked them to compare, and they said, well, both are great, but yeah, it is nice to have the screen up there with the exercises being shown, and of course a bingo roll and everything. So,
and you can log in to Spotify with just a free account. You do not need a premium account, and you can play the playlist through the web game too. So if you didn't have that feature that you were using, I'd get a free Spotify account and use that too, because that just kind of adds to it, where you can play the music while you're exercising after the demo video, and then you can easily play and pause with each, with each time window that you set to do the exercises.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up, because I was going to ask, other than like for the exercises, are there other occasions when people play music? Do they play it like in the beginning, the end, or is there what you could do?
I think that's totally up to you. Like that doesn't affect the fidelity of the game ultimately. So we kind of give you the freedom to, like play music as people are coming in or as they're leaving, or play a different kind of music if you would like, right? I mean, Dr. Crandall, that.
Yeah, I would say yes. Well, yeah, the short answer is yes. You can play it anytime you want, but I will say that having music going as people are coming in kind of sets a really fun vibe. So I would definitely recommend that. Yeah.
As long as you're not playing it while you're either talking or the exercise video demo is playing, I think it's appropriate to play the music any other time, probably.
Yeah. Emily made a good point in the chat. Yeah, you don't want music playing, especially like during the education piece.
Right.
You're reading the questions. Obviously, you don't want it too loud where people can't understand. So, yeah.
Okay.
But any other time, yeah, music's great.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Great way to start us off, Denise. Thank you. Is anybody here for the first time today or hasn't done their first workshop yet? You can just raise your little icon hand. We're always excited to see people who are here. Okay, there's tons of people who are first timers. So that's exciting and hopefully not too intimidating, but I know anytime I start something new and I want to do really well at it, I'm always a little nervous about it. But just know that we do these every month. We're always here for you via email. We've got our Facebook facilitator group. We can connect you with peers if you have specific questions that we know there's people who are really good at certain things. So definitely know that you are not alone, that there were a lot of other people who are here today who aren't newcomers, but they were at one point, and now it's old hat and they're pros at it. So you guys will all be pros at it in no time as well.
Does anybody else have COVID right now?
Dr. Crandall has COVID.
Fun.
No.
Fun.
Oh my goodness.
We've covered the gamut. I had the flu between Christmas and New Year's, and now he has COVID. So we're checking all the boxes.
Oh boy.
We hope none of you have either of those or get either of those.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
We can go for it, Stephanie.
Hi, this is Stephania. I am with Alameda Health System, Highland Hospital, Oakland, Level 1 Adult Trauma Center. And I did just complete my first bingo size class. just last 2 weeks ago.
Congrats.
Thank you. And this is my first monthly meeting, but just my question is this. I don't typically, it's unusual to get a lot of males in my classes. I'm so glad we're seeing more of them come through. I will say this, again, it's only been one class, but I will say that a couple of the participants were a little bit just like rolling their eyes about the names of the exercises. And they had a certain kind of lower energy. They thought it was kind of, I don't know. They felt like, I don't know. So do we have to name the exercise as it is? Can we, like the John Travolta or the wave to your neighbor? Like they don't even get up to wave to your neighbor because they don't want to. So I just said like, let's stretch side to side and reach the side. And is anyone else experiencing that? I don't want to say what they actually said that they thought it was, but just, is there any room for movement on that?
I try to give some like more advanced modifications for people that are like, oh, this is so easy. I try to give them something similar, but a little bit more difficult, like squat a little lower on like the squats or something like that. But normally, like you do have a lot of people that are doing the main exercise that's demoed. But for the people that are like, oh my God, like, I just like, well, if this is too easy, try this.
Which that's sometimes where the videos come in. Stephania, did you use the computer game where they could see the modifications?
Yeah,
of
this
the
has nothing to
exercises?
do with the actual exercise. I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about the title of the actual exercise. The John Travolta, the waving to your knee, waving.
Like
behind
they
your
just felt
knee.
that the names were cheesy.
Yes,
They didn't have
exactly.
a problem with the actual movement.
Yeah.
You know what? You can't make everybody happy. It's absolutely impossible. It doesn't matter what you call the exercises as long as it's done the correct way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
that's
doesn't,
great.
that's not going to impact
yeah.
fidelity at all. Just calling it whatever you want and then doing it exactly the way that it's supposed to be done.
I appreciate that, Dakota. That was my point, because I'm very big on fidelity, and I just wanted to make sure, like I said, instead of saying wave goodbye your neighbor, I just said, okay, reach to the side and
That's
just
fine.
give them the instructions. You don't even
Yeah.
have to give them a name. If they rolled their eyes at the name, just instruct them and leave the name off. Right?
That's
As
what I
long
did
as
to
they
make
do
sure.
it.
Exactly. I'm not modifying the exercise at all whatsoever. It was more about like, I don't want to lose them if they felt like,
No.
you know. So
That's
thank
fine.
you for that. That
No
definitely
problem
answers
at
the
all.
question. Thank you.
Perfect. And you're always like, I don't remember who it was that chimed in. You're never gonna, like Dr. Crandall said, you're never gonna make everybody happy. Everybody's got different ability levels, and that's kind of the beauty of Bingo Size. And that's truly where some of the heart of like the web-based game, and that's definitely where the videos came from, like where they were, birthed from, was the idea that it would show people of different ability levels doing different versions of it so that everybody can do Bingo Size together as a unit, regardless of their ability level. So whether it's somebody who is a total beginner who can only sit and can't use equipment, or whether it's somebody who walks a mile every day and is very fit and needs the, advanced modification, that there's always room for everybody. So there's definitely, for anybody, listening, there's definitely value if you haven't started yet. Or if you haven't tried the web game yet, we definitely encourage using that, because it does such a good job of being very, very inclusive, and it makes your job easier in the sense of you're not having to make the modifications. They're clearly evidenced and, shown on the screen for you, whether it's making something simpler or making something more intense. So we definitely, know that there's lots of ability levels. We want Bingo Size to be for everybody, not just for the beginners or whatever. So definitely, if you have not used that, definitely check it out. And if you're just getting started, we would certainly encourage you that that's, a great way to play the game so that people can see all the different versions. Other questions or comments or success stories or anything like that? I say anybody who's got feedback potentially for any newcomers, feel free to share.
This is Denise again. I just had a question, take any feedback from the season or one time big. So when you're scheduling your sessions, so say I have a session that's coming up right at the beginning of March,
Mhm.
and my supervisor would like me to schedule another session somewhere else. Do people usually do that concurrently? Would you recommend like starting 2 programs in separate places in the same week, so you would stay in the same place, or would you split it up? Or I was just wondering what people's experiences were.
I'm curious what others who've maybe done that would say. Anybody had concurrent sessions at multiple locations running and maybe have feedback for Denise?
We run concurrent back-to-back sessions depending on how many instructors we have available, and we try to work with their dates. We can have 2 or 3 going at any one time.
Do you start them at the
This is
same
Baltimore
time
County,
usually, Donna?
Maryland. Hmm?
Do you try to start them on the same schedules to keep it
No,
clean?
every building's different.
You just do it when they can do it,
When
basically.
it's, yeah, we meet them where they need to be, yeah.
And
Okay, so
we certainly don't mind either way, right? It's just, you would just have to have some kind of tracking system, throw it on the calendar, or one of the benefits, Denise, of the web game is you can create different rooms for
Yes.
different locations, and it'll easily track that for you.
okay, so it doesn't matter to you guys whether I do it. I just thought maybe it would be easier to do that, like, Mondays and Fridays with one group, Tuesdays and Thursdays with other, and we're all in the same week, so you're not printing up. But then I said, I don't know, maybe that get kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess I'll just see how it goes. Like you say, it will depend on what the sites want. And on that point, I wanted to ask, this is my thought, about scheduling. Did anyone ever use for scheduling? I was thinking of using like the Google, the Google Calendar that people can. Does anyone use that to schedule things, or or what ways are people scheduling? Is it just writing it on a calendar, on your calendar? I'd be curious to know.
This is Rachel Fouts over in Massachusetts. I do not use the Google Calendar because most of my elders or my participants, they're not really internet friendly, as in they don't like the internet. Some of them, a couple of people can use their phones, but most of the time, the locations that I'm running the workshops in, there'll be like a site manager. So I'll put a flyer up, we'll have the sign up, I'll get everybody's phone number.
Mhm.
If people are not, very good about remembering, I'll give them reminder calls. But I definitely, nope, haven't been able to use any of that technology so far.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would say in general, the bingo size audience is not your most internet tech they're not probably the most tech seeking audience. Let's say that. Not that they can't be savvy, but they're probably more tech avoidant than
Yes.
some audiences. And it probably depends on the area, right? Like maybe, who knows, maybe in California they're super tech accepting, and I'm sure different areas of the country it's slightly different. But as a general rule, I would say probably, like phone call reminders or emails, or probably a lot of in-person signups on bulletin boards and things like that is probably more common.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking more like the senior centers or the people I announced it to, and I thought if they could look at a whole calendar of dates available, at any time. But I
Like
haven't
the
gotten that.
partnering agencies, not so much the participants.
Correct.
Got you.
But I'm figuring out how to do it. We'll see. So maybe in 6 months I could tell you that was successful or not. But thank you everyone for your feedback. I appreciate it.
Other questions or comments?
Hi, I'm Carrie. I'm at Medical City Denton, level
Hey,
2
Carrie.
here in Texas. We are starting bingo size at the beginning of next month. And when we were going through the training, we were wondering about the initial video that we send in within the first couple of weeks to maintain fidelity of the course. Are there specific requirements to that video, like only showing the instructor? Do we show participants? Things like that?
Carrie, the video is actually, that's kind of the last approach that you have to do. The first would be someone who is already Bingo Size trained would observe, which I don't think is your situation at this point.
No, we're the first in the area.
Yeah. So the second would be that someone that's certified in another evidence-based program could observe you.
Okay, so we do have SAIL, so we
Okay.
get a SAIL instructor.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
There
get
you go.
someone who's certified in SAIL in your group and have them observe you and fill out the form. That's much easier than doing a video. Like you said, the video is kind of the last resort.
so I am also a SAIL instructor, so I can observe my partner, but then I need to get a different SAIL instructor to observe me.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And they could observe you virtually if they needed to.
Okay, excellent. And then while I'm unmuted,
Yeah.
so we are doing our initial class at an assisted living facility. We did a lot of data deep dive to pick out where we decided to host our first class, and we wanted it to be on location just to help promote attendance. But is there anything specific that you guys have done in the past to promote attendance? I know the activities coordinator at the place said that my people are very food motivated. So if I can bring food in at any point, that will bump numbers. But is there anything else y'all seen that works?
I would recommend doing like a demo beforehand, Carrie, to like let people in the building maybe do 1 or 2 demos and let them see it and let them have time to like go back and busy detail their other peers and stuff
Okay.
before you actually start. That sometimes is helpful.
We do have one scheduled for the week before we
Perfect.
start. So
Perfect. And then that'll be a great, I mean, word of mouth is obviously priceless. So maybe have a demo and then have food at the demo.
Ice cream
that might
floats.
be-
it was
Yeah.
already, we were told that we needed to bring ice cream floats to bring people in.
That sounds like a win-win. Just sucker them in with sugar and then tell them the benefits of exercise.
Exactly.
You also might, I don't know if you have smart TVs throughout your facility, you might be able to show some of our marketing videos. They could see it in action and
Oh,
see
that's
it's
a great
exciting.
You could run it on the TV, like on a rotation. That is a great idea.
They just remodeled, so I do think they do have some in there. So I'll talk to her about that while I'm there.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I don't know if people are looking at the chat, so I'm just going to tell you guys this. Hey, Carrie, this might help you or it might help anybody else. Valerie Biediger, if I'm saying it wrong, Valerie, I'm so sorry. Valerie is one of our very long-standing partners at the Alamo Area Council of Governments in Texas, and she was just saying that she's had some folks contact her to like observe them virtually and help them out before in Texas. So it sounds as though Valerie is a willing participant. If anyone needed her to help them with like a fidelity check, that she would be willing to do that for folks. And then Rachel Fouts was telling you, Denise, that she's close by to you. And so that she threw her like contact info in the chat in. So if you didn't see that, jump in the chat and maybe like capture her contact info, because she was just basically saying she'd be happy to be a resource for you since you guys are neighbors.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the great things about Bingo Size is I feel like that's definitely the general consensus is that there's a lot of camaraderie and a lot of people who are willing to help each other out in here, because essentially we're all trying to accomplish the same goal. We're all trying to help reduce falls. We're all trying to help people better their health and whatnot. So that's one of the things I would say is one of the coolest things about Bingo Size in our community is there's a lot of helpful, willing people who are always looking to connect with people. So anyway, so they're just Valerie and Rachel both threw their contact info in the chats. And so that's there for folks. I'm going to throw a question out that I was kind of saving for the end. And then if this ends up being the end, okay. And if not, that's totally fine too. We have more time. But so I've been working and Dr. Crandall has been working on putting together kind of some ideas of where we will go this year to share about bingo sides, like conferences and things like that. And so obviously Age in Action is on our list. He's planning to be there and planning to present in May. And I think it's not in Washington, D.C., I guess, Arlington, Washington, D.C. And so we will be there. And so we're looking at other conferences as well. One that we've done in the past was the Southeast, the SE4A. I was curious if anybody is in a state that is in a different region than SE4A, because in my search for looking at like regional area agencies on aging, I wasn't finding much else as far as like the names of regions and things like that. So I'm curious if anybody is in another region that they could be, you know, willing to share that with us. But I also have, I've also got USA Aging on our list to talk about. I've got a Trauma Centers of America conference on our list of things to talk about. So just curious if any one of you is, and then even the National Activities Professionals is on my list to talk about as well, or to consider with him as well. So if anybody has an idea or a name of something like that that they would want to share, we are definitely open to that. I think a couple of people threw their hands up. Nanette, you look like you have your hand up. Or maybe that was from earlier. If you want to say something, just unmute. You don't, I can't. I said it looks like there's a bunch of hands that were up earlier, so just jump in and say something if you want.
All right, this is Valerie in San Antonio. We do have a Texas Area Agency on Aging conference. It's put on by the Texas Association of Regional Councils, TARC.
Yeah.
I have not seen the notice for this year's conference, but it is a statewide
Right.
regional conference for
What
Texas.
about more regional as far as like, because we can't go to each state, obviously.
Right.
So like SE4A is like there's 10 states. It's like Virginia, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee. Are you guys part of a bigger regional?
Not that I'm aware of, because Texas is so big.
Okay.
I mean, we have 24 area agencies on aging,
Mm-hmm.
and then you throw in some of the other aging resources.
That's kind of what I wondered, is if there wasn't necessarily something that where it was regional across the country like that, because SE4A is truly the only one that I can find where it's like multiple states that are part of a regional group.
Yeah.
Hmm. Thank you, Valerie, for that. Anybody else have other questions or anything?
So I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can. Hi, Tina.
Hi, this is Tina. I'm in Phoenix area, Arizona. And I actually learned about you guys. I'm with fire department, and I learned about you guys at a CRR conference, Community Risk Reduction.
Mm-hmm.
And so have you considered going to some of the larger regional CRR conferences?
I have not. I've talked to someone before actually at a conference, and so they've told us about that community risk reduction. So I'm glad you reminded me. I will look into that one as well.
Yeah, it was for the one that I was at, it was largely Arizona, but it was pretty much all the Arizona fire departments were there, and many of them were interested in the bingo size program. So it would be worth going to those.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Christine, we do have Mass Home Care Conference here in Massachusetts, and I know you said you're not going to individual states. So I just quickly Googled to see if there was anything, and I do see a New England Area Agency on Aging, Aging Life Care Association. Looks like they have something every year. Of course, it is in Massachusetts, but I don't know if that helps, but I mean, I kind of get the gist of what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I don't really.
What was it called, Rachel?
Aging Life Care Association.
Okay.
So the website I got, alcanewengland.org.
ALCA, say that one more time.
alcanewengland.org.
Okay, thank you.
Sure thing.
And I saw somebody mentioned US Aging in San Diego. I've got that on my list. I've got that one pulled up. So thank you for that one. Definitely have that on my radar. And thank you, Valerie, for that link. Anybody else have anything? This is helpful for us, but obviously we want to make sure that we're being helpful to you all as well. Dr. Crandall, can you think of anything else that?
Yeah, I want to mention the CMP actually.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Again, if you were here before, you may have heard me talk about these opportunities, but we have helped a lot of nursing homes across the country to bring bingo size to their facilities free. There would be no charge to the nursing homes. I know most of you probably aren't affiliated with nursing homes, but you may know someone who is. You may have a colleague that works in that area, that industry. I know Valerie, who's here, she's helped connect me with some of her folks down in San Antonio who work with nursing homes, at the ombudsmans. But if you know someone that might be interested and they think that bingo size would be a good program for them, have them reach out to me. The great thing about this money comes from what's called Civil Money Penalty Awards. It's a program ran through the Center for Medicare and Medicaid. And that money actually comes from the nursing homes themselves. And so that's where the funding comes from. And it's to basically fund programs that help improve the quality of life of nursing home residents. So we've been very successful with that. We've had over 12,000 residents participate as part of that program. So again, it's a win-win-win for everybody. You know, the nursing home gets bingo size for free. The residents get to participate. The staff get trained. So yeah, just let me know if you know anybody. It looks like someone's an ombudsman. Great. That's great. Yep, ombudsman are perfect folks to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
So if you'll just send me an email with your
It does not include assisted livings, Mackenzie. It is specific, the funding is specific to skilled nursing. However, if a skilled nursing facility were attached to an assisted living, you could certainly, you know, like invite both audiences, but in order to get the funding and the whole goal and like purpose behind the funding is strictly for skilled nursing.
So, quick question. If I was going to pass this along to my colleague who is an ombudsman, would I tell her, how would she implement this? Like, how would that get started?
Good question. So Valerie's colleagues in San Antonio, there's different ways of doing it. So the nursing homes themselves can actually apply for this funding, but that's not the typical approach, just because it takes a lot of time for them and they're just not set up for that. Right. So the other way is for us, by our company, Christine and I to apply for them, and then they would basically be getting the program, and we've helped take care of that. The third approach is for an organization like ACOG down in San Antonio, for example. They are actually going to apply for the money through the program. They would then help facilitate bringing bingo size to the facilities that they recruit for the project. So that's probably the most popular way to do it. I help universities do that. I help university get the grant. They will get the funding. They'll get bingo size, and then the nursing homes get it for free. So there's just different ways of doing it. So if they're interested and they want to learn more details, they can just reach out to me, and I can set up a meeting with them and kind of go through that with them.
Okay. Sounds good.
And even helping like large organizations who are skilled nursing, that's common too. Like we've worked with, you know, like a particular like Signature Health in a state, right? Or something like that. That's another easy way too. We certainly can do, you know, help like one individual facility. We absolutely can do that. But in the instance that any group is part of a larger organization, it's almost easier to help them get it on a broader scale in their state too. So we could, you know, certainly help an organization that had multiple facilities in a state, help them get it in all of their locations.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're interested, just put your email in the chat right now, and I'll make sure I copy it and put it in an email to you.
We'll send out some kind of like general information for you guys to look over. And
yeah, in fact, I'll just send it out to everybody that's on here. I think that'd be the easiest. And if you're interested, you got it. If you don't, just you can delete
You
it.
can always, yeah, you can always send it to someone else, or you can just
Yep.
discard it, disregard it. One other thing while you guys are thinking through that or throwing stuff in the chat that Dr. Crandall mentioned to me that I was not thinking of that we are always interested in is if you guys ever have opportunities, whether it's local or regional or statewide or whatever that might be, if you guys are having like Falls Coalition, if you guys are part of Falls Coalitions or part of, having larger statewide area agency on aging meetings, things like that, we are always open and love the opportunity anytime possible to come on and do like webinars or to, like do bingo size demo and show people in the instance that there are entities who aren't familiar with it in your state. We are always interested in guest speaking opportunities and webinars and things like that, where we can, share the program virtually, talk with people, things like that. So please keep us in mind, or, and reach out to me anytime that you think that there's ever an opportunity like that. If you're in charge of filling educational spots or speakers or things like that, we're your people. Let us know.
Great.
Antoinette, I think it would be worth looking at your comment in the chat. If you want to maybe set up a meeting with us, then we can give you a lot more information.
Yeah, shoot me an email, Antoinette, and he and I can look at our calendars and maybe just set up a one-on-one with you and talk through some things. If there's nothing else, I think we're seeming to be wrapping up, maybe, unless anybody else has something pressing that they've thought of that they have not jumped in with. Now would be a great time to get those last questions in if you have any. Otherwise, I feel like we might be able to go ahead and wrap it up. We'll do this again. Is it February 16th, Dr. Crandall?
Yes.
February 16th will be the next time that we do this. So same time, same channel, February 16th. So go ahead and throw it on your calendar if you would like to. You do not have to attend these every month by any means, but you absolutely, you can absolutely put those on your calendar. And if you would like a recording of this, we don't typically just send it to everybody. I don't get a report of everybody, but if you want a recording, just shoot me an email and I can send that to you easily.
I'll try to put it on the Facebook facilitator group, which if you have not joined and you do use Facebook, I encourage you to join.
Yeah, absolutely. But just if you'll just shoot me an email, if you want the recording, and then I will respond to your email with the recording link. That would be super helpful. So I'll put my email in here just in case anybody doesn't have it, but that would be the most helpful thing if you do not mind. Emily mentioned, Dr. Crandall, that the 16th of February is President's Day. And so a lot of them are probably going to be closed. We did not think about that.
Yeah, maybe the next week, the 23rd.
Or the 9th, either one. The 9th is pushing it at the end of the month, so it would be really close to the next one probably. I feel like the 9th would make more sense. That's 4 weeks away.
Okay, we'll do the 9th.
Yeah.
Executive decision.
Thank you, Emily. That's very helpful to know. So the 9th instead. Okay, everybody, thank you guys so much for your time. We appreciate you. We know everybody's busy and has a lot on their plates. It really means a lot to us when you guys are willing to hop in and give us, 45 minutes to an hour of your time once a month. We're always here if you need us outside of these calls. Definitely join the Facebook facilitators page and kind of keep your eye out for that. Check the website for e-commerce, all of those things. If you need us in the meantime, let us know.
Thank you.
So much, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.